The step behind T drill is a great drill for working on momentum and release. It's got some secondary things as well. It's a very foundational drill for what we do because it increases the body timing as well. It lets you sync up everything. Let's take a look in full speed. We want to try to get as athletic as we can with this first movement, but the back foot goes around behind the front foot, hops, plants, the front hip is closed, over exaggerated that in that closed position. That's the reason for the step behind. And then once the energy starts going this way with the hip and the stride foot, the hands are going to go this way, and that's going to create the stretch as well, and that's going to help get all the body parts in sync. So the backside releasing is another key element in this drill, and the front side locking is another key element. Although I don't stress that quite as much at the very beginning. That's also one of those things that's pretty important. Now the last note about this is there's two other reasons why I like this drill. One is to get kids out of their head and not to let them worry about their swing. So this is a crazy drill that is really nothing like their swing. Even though it has some elements, it's really hopefully far enough away from their swing where they'll relax and actually make this movement happen. And they'll make this lockout happen if you just tell them to concentrate on that, because they're not thinking about their swing. This is not close enough to their swing to make them get that kind of pressure. The other thing is the eye level. His head is going to move dramatically, but he's all along that same basic eye line. And as long as that's the case, then the head movement is really overrated. The head movement is crucial at the point when you're loading. Once you've gotten to that point where you're gathered and now you recognize pitch, now the head movement and the point when you started your swing, the head movement is no longer all that crucial. As long as it stays on the same line, you're going to find that they can have tremendous head movement and still make solid contact on a regular basis. The step behind drill is another foundational drill that I think is really important in learning the swing itself. It's very dynamic, a lot of momentum involved in it. It's very good for getting the body timing, the inner body timing together, as well as pitch timing. You can work on a lot of pitch timing drills because at the point where you hop behind the back foot and gather, now you can also learn how to wait for different speed pitches during that time. The other big thing about this drill is that it lets them forget about their swing. They don't have to worry about their swing. They don't have to worry about it because it's such a weird, different movement pattern. It's a lot different than their normal swing. Let's take a look at this full speed. And let's slow it down once. So you can see that the back foot, in this case the left foot, is going to go behind the front foot. Hop as dynamically as you can. I'd really like to get the hop. Now at this moment you notice there's not very much leverage. So that's the one bad side to this drill. But you can work on that while you're doing the drill as well. So this just happens to be one of his worst ones in that sense. But the idea is that if you realize that's one of the downsides of the drill, then you can work around that. But step behind, plant, over-exaggerate the turning of the front hip, over-exaggerate the pushing back with the lead arm, and then the hips lead the way while the hands are still going in this direction, and that creates that stretch that we want, and then a full release. This one's not as good as I would like to see it, but it'll just kind of prove the point that we really want to exaggerate that action. Let's see if the next one's better. Yes.